Lumberjack from the jump. Welcome to the I Am ... podcast.
The podcast for busy mums who want to consume useful shit for their biz and their life. Here we tackle the things we know are holding mums and women back in their business.
We're not afraid to tackle the big shit, the bullshit, and the good shit. We go from mum guilt to confidently learning how to kick ass in this digital space.
We will discuss the world of digital marketing and share life's tips and tricks for getting it done.
As six-figure business owners with over 10 years of digital marketing and brand experience, and mums to young kids, we get it, we share it, and we own it.
So buckle up and let's go.
Let's go. I think we did it.
Is that up the screen, maybe?
I don't know. That was really Welcome to the I Am ... podcast, the podcast for busy creators who want to consume useful shit for their biz and their life. I'm Kristen Werner, joined by Mia Steele. What up, Mia?
What up? How's it going?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Pretty good indeed. Very excited about our little chat we're going to have today because I get a bit excited at this stuff.
You do, and it's so true.
What are we going to talk about today, Mia?
We're going to talk about your coat of armor. One of Kristen's most favouriteest topics in the world. She loves talking about this stuff. She's so passionate about it. And before I met Kristen, I really didn't give this sort of stuff much thought.
Yeah.
But now that I do, and now that I'm aware of this and how it makes me feel, it's true. It's amazing. And this is going to be a really good episode to listen to.
Usually we put our coats of armor on, which is for me, the yellow jacket. Mia puts a pink jacket on. That's what I call creating your coat of armor and dressing how you need to feel. And today we're having just a day in the life of us. We're a bit cruisy. We're just doing the podcast. It's bloody cold, so I didn't want to suit up. And I can tell you right now, the mindset is different. I can guarantee you, and Mia and I were saying this before, if I put my suit jacket on, my whole persona and mindset, even the way I'm sitting, would change. And that is the most powerful fucking shit you can do for yourself. And not just as a woman, not just online, but if you are having a Debbie Downer kind of day and you change one thing about yourself, whether it's the shoes you wear, the earrings you put in, the makeup, the hair, the color you're wearing, it will change how you feel. And I'm so fucking passionate about that. It's ridiculous. And
I remember talking to you about this a little while ago. It only clicked to me recently when we had a chat about this not that long ago. When I was a paramedic, if I didn't have my uniform, there's no way that I'd walk into a sex dungeon with people overdosed on the floor. The minute I put my uniform on, I felt like a different person. I had courage. I felt like I had a bit of authority. I felt safe for some reason, even though I definitely wasn't. But it's that whole thing, stepping into that way you feel by wearing something.
Yeah. And it's something that we wanted to talk about on the podcast today because it's a topic we've just dropped inside the membership called Creating Your Coat of Armor. And it's around building a personal brand, understanding the power of dressing how you need to feel. And so we thought we'd chat about it here. And at the end of this little conversation, I'm going to drop a little podcast I did years ago, my old podcast. I'm going to drop that audio here because I was cruising in the car and I just had, and this is why perfection is not our game around here. I used to do my podcast in the car because I had long distance travel with my headphones and off I went. So if it's a bit rough around the edges, it's fine. Get over it. She'll be right. But it's basically talking about dressing how you need to feel. And inside the membership, why we wanted to put that in there is one, for building your personal brand. And the other part of it is also, as women and mothers, we often just get about it. We get up, we put our clothes on, we go put our like right now I'm literally in my tracksuit pants and a hoodie. But I said to me before, even though we've not suited up, so I don't feel that coat of armor, which I usually would if I put the yellow jacket on, as this like bravery coat of armor mindset thing for me. But I still have a hot pink hoodie on. I have makeup on. I've done my hair not too bad, and I have a pair of earrings because that to me is part of my coat of armor. That to me is enough for my mindset to be like, I still feel good. Because trust me, what I was wearing before when I went to the gym, it was a gym top and I just wasn't a cold jacket. No, it wasn't me. So I had to at least put this particular outfit on. So it's not about going and buying the most expensive shit you can buy and going and revamping your wardrobe. But the purpose of this whole discussion and the purpose of dressing how you need to feel is, as a woman and a mother certainly, It's about you saying to yourself and recognizing when you look in the mirror, if you look in the mirror and you say, "Oh, yeah, this'll do."
Mm.
That
Yeah.
is the fucking energy you will take to your day.
Yeah.
That you'll take that through your day. Where if you put something on and you go, "Oh, this will do," and then you go, "No, I'm going to change. I'm going to put a scarf. I'm going to put a necklace. I'm going to put shoes. I'm going to put whatever it is, a new outfit on, a pair of jeans. I don't care." And then you look at yourself and you go, "Oh, that's better. Oh, that feels better." And you kind of have a pep in your step. That is the
Yeah.
energy you bring to the room. That is the energy you bring to your life. And we don't put enough value on it because it feels superficial as fuck. And that's where I used to feel until I allowed myself to realize that it's not superficial, it's powerful. And when you can
Mm.
own that power and understand that dressing how you need to feel is such a beautiful thing and it gives you personal joy, then the superficial part of it just fades away. And the
Yeah.
self-doubt of like, "Oh, I couldn't wear that. I can't wear that. Why not? Why can't you wear
When
that?"
it's for
Like,
yourself, like, it's a
that's
little
it.
bit different if you're dressing to impress other people and
Mm.
thinking about what they think, but it's so true, like and it's so easy to fall into this, "Oh, I'm just a mum, I'm just gonna kick the slacky trackies on and
Mm.
slippers," and, like and that's okay. Some days we just
Mm.
have those days, but the minute you put something on that makes you feel a little bit different, you do. You just
Mm.
your day changes.
And, it's funny because even then when you said that, like, putting something on, for how somebody else that feeling of you put it on and because you're worried about what other people think or whatever it might be, their mindset, I don't ever want you to think, and this is for everyone, to think about anybody else in your process because who
Yeah.
gives a shit? Like,
Mm.
it's nobody else's business if they don't like what you're wearing. And usually
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's because they don't have the confidence or they're not comfortable in their own self to wear whatever it is you're wearing, or they love it and they're like, "I wish I could wear that." Why can't you?
Mm. Or it's in your head and they're not actually
Mm,
thinking about anything, they're thinking about themselves. They couldn't give a
yeah.
damn what you wear, but it's in your head thinking, "Oh, they're gonna judge me if I wear this."
Yeah, and usually that then makes us, as women, but makes us go, "Oh, I'll just maybe I shouldn't wear that." Like how many
Mm.
times have you been in I don't know about you, but I know, certainly in school days, but even now I've noticed it before. If we ever go to a function with friends, there'll be the messenger group that people are like, "Oh, so what are you wearing?" And I'm like, "I'll wear whatever the fuck I want to wear.
Mm.
I don't know." Like it's never
Yeah.
been my thing to be like, "Oh," like people are like, "Oh, I'm gonna wear jeans because it's this." I'm like, "I'm not. I'm probably gonna wear a
I'll
fucking
just
ball
wear what I
gown because I feel like it." Like it's
Yeah,
it's
pick one.
never it's never crossed my mind to do that because I've always stepped into this space of like sometimes I'll plan an entire outfit 2 days before, a week before. I'm like, that's how I wanna feel. And then I'll get
Mm.
dressed and I'll put it on and I'm like, not vibing it today." And it'll be the smallest thing, whether it's a change of shoes or a skirt or a color or an earring or something that takes it from, "It's just not right," to, "Damn, that's good."
Mm.
And it's something that, even then it just clicked, like, as a designer, when I'm designing something, it can be the most minimal change that I'll be looking at a design all day and be like, "Why is this not right?" And then I'll move something or change a color, I'm like, "Nailed it."
There it
Where
is.
really there's no change to anybody else's eye, but I know what I know. It's that
Yeah.
kind of
And
thing,
it could
and you
be, like, simple stuff too, like, you don't have to buy a whole new wardrobe, but
mm-mm.
sometimes I find that just tucking in my
Mhm.
white shirt instead of leaving it out just
Yeah.
changes the whole look and the whole feel too.
And it's something that I know I was just listening to a podcast, which we can link below in the show notes. There's a Mamma Mia podcast, and they did the finding your color chart, like if you're a
Mm.
warm autumn or a spring or a cool spring. And so there's a few links that they had to there and they spoke to someone. It's a really good podcast, actually. But even finding out that, like, what colors are good for you is helpful for you to feel more confident in that, helpful for you to bring your space to light, help for you to understand what colors work with you and what don't, because some colors just don't. Like greens for me are gross, and
Yeah.
blacks. If you ever see me in black, you'll be like, "Damn, you're
Shit,
not
shit.
okay."
Yeah, well, you are right.
Yeah, it was really
I
good.
haven't
No, go.
I was gonna say I haven't done my color chart yet. I've seen it all over TikTok and it matches
Mm,
your skin with all the colors and stuff, and I think there's
mm.
a AI one that does it as well too, so that would be interesting to do actually.
Yeah, and it's really worthwhile doing because it just shows you what colors complement you. And some people, like
Mm.
for me, I know personally what colors I love and what make me feel good. So even if my color chart was like, "Yeah, I shouldn't wear pink," I'd be like, "Well, that is
No.
just never gonna happen." So that's a no, but also then I'd find other colors that might work. But, if you're struggling and you don't know what works and you don't know what's good, then maybe doing some of those things, and there's so many options you can do, is a good idea. But then I think no matter what, and I'll say this, I think I say this in the podcast, and I certainly say this in the masterclass, it's just it's knowing yourself enough. You know when you put something on, if your brain says to you, "Yuck," or
Mm.
if your brain says to you, "Oh, these jeans are tight. Oh, I feel gross." Oh, like if I'm heading into my period, don't get me in a pair of jeans because
Yeah.
my brain says to me, "Kristen, you're looking really fat." And I don't ever say to myself nasty words, but I know when I'm 3 days out from my period, my brain's going, "Hey,
It's
you look
just
fucking gross, mate."
yeah,
But I
jeans
know
just not
enough about myself now to be like, "That is not you talking." And then I'll go and put on something else and be like, "There you go. That looks nice." So we
Yeah.
need to understand ourselves as well. Like, do the color charts, do all that. That's fine. But please, like, if nothing else, please know that if you look at your own reflection and you say, "Yuck, that's not comfortable. I'm uncomfortable. This looks funny. It sits funny. It's a bit weird. Society says I should wear this, but it's not me." Take it off.
Mm.
And then go
Yeah.
and find something that when you put it on, you go, "Oh, that's nice." Because if it's making you smile and it's making you look at yourself and go, "That's nice." And it doesn't have to be, "Oh my God, I'm so fucking hot. It's amazing." It just has to be like, "That's nice. I feel good."
Yeah.
Like, that's the
Yep.
most important thing in this whole process, to even getting to a stage where you can start dressing in a way that is a little bit more out there, but you just need, it's like confidence is a muscle. It's a little baby steps, little baby things that might just change the way that you look and you
Mm.
feel. But that's my passion point, is dressing how you need to feel, and what
Yep.
that does for you is huge.
Yep.
Huge.
Absolutely. And especially for mums too. You sort of lose yourself a little bit. You're
Mm.
at home all day with the bubby, breastfeeding, you need to have comfy clothes and all that sort of stuff. And there's a time and a place for that. But even just waking up and you might stay in your trackies all day, but just putting a bit of concealer on or,
Mm.
a nice headband or something, you
Yeah.
just feel a little bit better.
Yeah, and I think that's the key, is there's no shame in that. If it makes you feel better, who cares? It's nobody else's business but yours. Like, if it makes
Mm.
you feel better, and our bodies change and they don't usually go back to how they were, and that's
Mm,
okay.
no.
And so it's about embracing that and being okay with the fact that that thing that you used to love, that used to, and this is the other thing I say about it in the masterclass, is clothes are so powerful. And so if
Yeah.
you're holding on to something that was a past memory that doesn't fit you anymore, that you're only holding on to it because that was you of that time and I'm never going to be there. And that's, oh, I'm so grumpy that I'll never be that woman again. That's not a good feeling. Where if you kind of look at it and go, geez, I love that outfit. And God, that was a good time, but it doesn't fit me anymore. That's okay because this is my new style. Then that's like that's okay. Or it's that
Mhm.
you find a new version and you go, now I feel comfortable, now I feel confident, and now I know how to go into a clothes shop and find something that works for me. So
Mm.
clothes are so powerful. Don't underestimate their power. And sometimes you have to let them go because that is also a powerful thing. And sometimes you just need to learn that our bodies change. That's okay. And now we just need to
Mm.
find something that makes us feel good, whatever that is.
And as someone who has been pretty in tune with your style and fashion, I'm going to say most of your life, perhaps.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has your style ever changed? And if so, why did it change? Or has it
Good
always been
question.
pretty, yeah.
Well, it's funny because on that, I don't know if I've told you this. I've told many people. My mum's told a lot of people. When I was younger, about my daughter's age, probably four-ish, mum took me shopping in Target. And this lady came up to her and was like, I just wanted to let you know that everything you're putting in the cart that your daughter doesn't seem to like, she's throwing out. So
Think.
apparently, like, we're
Yeah.
going through Target and mum's putting stuff in. I'm like, nope, not me, not
Yeah.
me. And now I can see that in my daughter. I'm like, embrace. I've got to embrace
Is she
this.
like you? Yeah.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
for me, and I do credit a lot of this to my mum because she's just such a beautiful soul and has the most immaculate way of dressing herself, and just incredible woman in general in terms of how she presents herself. And so
Mm.
she tells me a story of like her nanny used to take her mum, sorry, used to take her to town and you have to wear gloves and hats, and you had to dress up beautifully, go to town. It was a very special occasion. So even as
Yep.
kids, if we go to town, and like we live in the city, but if we go to town, you'd wear your good clothes. And so mum had this, like, she always kind of put that to us. If you're going somewhere, then you need to dress up and be appropriate, and not in a way that was controlling, just in a way that she knew that what was good and what was home clothes and what was out clothes. And so for that was very much always my lifestyle. I'm a
Yeah.
raging tomboy though, so I love, like, we live on a farm, and I've always been in the mud, river, farm, just love it, but then love the opposite part of being able to dress up.
Dressing up. Yeah.
And so for me, there was always color, texture, fitting of clothing. So my mum was also a sewer. So when I used to watch her go to work, and she had a corporate career and worked with a lady in PR. And so she had quite a stylized work, I suppose, stylized job. And so she used to, and this is in the 80s, when the 80s was like raging, and like the suit jacket. So mum used to get dressed up in these beautiful suits, very tailored, very beautiful. And she'd go to work in that. And then when I was playing, and I used to play dress ups, I'd play in all her old clothes. And so I'd be dressing and all that. And I'd be testing stuff as a young kid. Like I'd be wearing high boots with short skirts, or long skirts with boots. And I'd dress up and play in her clothes for hours and hours, and was just in my
Yeah.
absolute element, which is now what I do in my own wardrobe. But then when I went and got my corporate job, I played the same role. So I dressed up like that. I got the pencil skirts. I had the suit jackets. I did that. I didn't conform. I've never conformed to what anybody's told me I should wear. And I do credit that to mum, because mum was a sewer, and she'd buy things that were nice, like name brand or not. She didn't care. If it
Yeah.
looked nice and you liked it, you wear it. And so that's been me. And I suppose maybe that's it. So for me, I've not changed. I've probably just always gone with color, texture, and fit. So,
Yeah.
certainly in my corporate career, it was a very tight pencil skirt, or, nice tailored pants. They were never expensive, but they were always something I always bought. And even in the dressing room, I'd stand there and be like, try it on. And I'd have in my mind, okay, yes, that would go with the jacket. And I've got that shirt and that color. And I know that that would go with that, and that matches that. So yes, I've got now 5 outfits that I can wear from one pair of pants. I've always been able to do that.
Yeah.
And then as a mum, I suppose that's probably been my biggest struggle, is that's where I've had to change. And there's been a bit of grieving in that, because there's a part of me that just loved getting dressed. But now when I go out, I do still dress in a way that, we might be going to the pub, and some of my girlfriends were, they're jeans and a t-shirt. Cool. That's what I might wear that sometimes too. But then sometimes I might go out and be like, you know what? I'm wearing the structured suit. Like it's always been for me. I've always just wanted to feel good in what I'm wearing, no matter what. I don't care what you say. If I walk into a room and people are like, she's a bit dressed up. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Probably not changed, but I think motherhood's been the hardest, because my body's changed, and it hasn't changed enough that it's like significantly different, but it's enough that's like, damn, those
And
things
you're
don't
at home
fit
more
anymore.
too.
Yeah.
Haven't got the corporate job. Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
thinking back on my, like, as soon as I finished university, I went into jobs that required uniforms. So I've just worn a
Mm.
uniform. And for me, that was great, because I didn't have to think about what I was going to wear. I didn't have to buy outfits and all that sort of stuff, because I find fashion very overwhelming. I hate going shopping. I hate making decisions. I think everything looks terrible on me. So I'm coming from that point of view that I understand that when I find something that looks and feels good, I feel great.
Mm.
But I find it very overwhelming because it hasn't been part of my life, and I've always worn a uniform. So it's a learning process, and learning how to style myself and what clothes to buy and what looks good and what doesn't look good. It's a process. But your masterclass that you've dropped inside our membership is great. And I had tears watching it. It was a very emotional process, because it's been something for me that I've always just sort of pushed down. And I think because I don't like the attention on me, so therefore I'll just wear the jeans and the white top or the black jacket. I'm very toned down. So it's definitely a learning curve if you're coming from that side where fashion hasn't really played a big part in your life. But if
Yeah.
you're building a personal brand and you're on social media and you're putting yourself out there, you got to kind of start thinking about this stuff too.
Yeah. And I think it's one of those things that it's always been something for me, play. Like I've always played with it as if it's like just something really fun to do. So it's never been something I've overthought in terms of not enjoying it. Like I've just always seen getting dressed as a joy. And that comes from, I think, like going back to the thought of mum. And so I used to play in her wardrobe and spend hours in there. And
See,
like
I didn't.
I had a play box full of dress ups and I'd spend hours and hours and pretend to be people and things like that. So it's something that for me, it's second nature just to play again now as an adult. So, and and I think people that do have uniforms, what's good about that is it's, it is that coat of armor, but then outside of that, then it's learning what is comfortable for you. And if nothing else, playing in that and testing things. But then I can understand that there is, I do respect that there is a conversation and a self-talk that you have with yourself, like what will people think? And I can't stand out. And I suppose if
what is
nothing
my
else,
style? I don't even know what my style is. Like it's
and that's in the masterclass I go through, go to Pinterest and just like look at other styles and then try and replicate them when you go shopping. And again, it goes back to that play, like have fun with it. Like your style tells a story. And I don't think we don't lean on that enough anymore because we just get dressed and, we either don't want to stand out. So we just get dressed in whatever, where you're still telling a story. It's still part of your brand. Like
it's got to feel like you. There's no point, dressing a particular way because people say that looks good and that's what people, but if you don't feel like you, you're not going to feel great.
No, absolutely. I think if it's now I don't know. And what we're putting in the next part, we'll kind of add the bits that resonate as well. But hopefully, if nothing else, this just gets you thinking about the power of what you get to wear, like having fun with it and not overthinking it. And, I've always said that if in doubt, dress up. Like, when you go to something, people are like, oh, I don't know. Will it be too dressy? Do it. Like, wouldn't you want to be overdressed than underdressed? Like I think I said it in the masterclass too. Like imagine going to an interview in your tracksuit that you haven't washed for a week without doing your hair and just walking. How would you feel in that moment?
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference between then just having a shower, putting on a nice pair of jeans, a white shirt tucked in, a little slip-on shoe and a little tailored jacket. I bet you're going to feel different than the tracky girl.
Like that the tracky girl doesn't get the job either.
Yeah, and that's the superficial part I want to blow up, is it's not getting dressed to be a social media phenomenon. It's getting dressed for you and doing it for you. Like you are a person, you are an energy, you are something very important in this world, and you need to feel something, whether that's for your kids, like, to spark joy in them. Like if nothing else, that's what I'm passionate about is at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. You have to feel joy in getting dressed for yourself and for the energy that you bring to the room.
Yeah. And it's something you do every single day. So why not make it fun and interesting and what you want to do.
Yeah. But anyway, that's my passion, guys.
Well, we're going to tag on Kristen's other conversation to herself that she had. How many years ago is this? And you're still talking, so passionately about
mate, this is 5 or 6 years ago. I reckon I did that podcast, and I'm still, and I will forever talk about it because I love it. And the funny thing is when I used to do these in-person workshops, and hopefully Mia and I will get a chance to do that with an audience soon. This was the part that blew women's minds. This was the part when I got onto personal branding and dressing how you need to feel. This was the section that women just wanted more of, because nobody's talking about it in a way that isn't superficial and isn't. Yeah. And it's tricky because not everyone likes playing in their wardrobe. I respect that, but I want women to get excited about doing that. And that's so hopefully we'll do an in-person thing. We'll just like.
Oh, we're going to. And if you're inside the membership, we're dropping the Code of Armor Masterclass. So jump on that when that's in there because you'll love it, honestly. It's great.
And welcome to the Monday Munchies, where today I am bringing it to you from the car, driving the highway without children in the car. You see, what happens is when I'm driving and there's no kids in the car, my brain goes off. Is it the silence that you're on your own, you're driving, you're cruising, you're listening to tunes? And I found myself, also the same thing happens to me in the shower. The second I get in the shower, I'm like an idea factory. In all seriousness, it's those moments where you allow yourself to be free of all the things going on in your life, and all of a sudden my brain especially, and I know from a lot of entrepreneurs that I speak to, that is when you just go off. And it also happens to be just before bed, my brain's like, right, you're going to get sleepy? We're going to get ideary. So today's podcast, being that I'm in the car, I just had this thought and feeling around confidence in terms of showing up for yourself and dressing how you need to feel is really where this one is going to go today. But it all stemmed from the fact of when I'm working one-on-one with my clients, I like to talk to them about how they can really embrace their personal brand and how they can share their story and their message and what that looks like in terms of brand and brand consistency. And we work through the visual branding. And then we get to this section where I talk to them around their coat of armor. And strangely enough, it is the section of the work that I do that women just light up about, that I get tagged on all the time on social media when people say, you know, I'm dressing like this today. I've embraced how I'm feeling, and they tag me and say, thank you very much for everything that you've said. And, you know, it could be one or two posts. It could be one-on-one clients that I work with that I think it's one of these things, and I was trying to define it as I was driving, and I was just kind of vaguing out and listening to this amazing song. And I was like, when it comes to showing up on social media, there is a fear of judgment. There is a fear of, I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. When we get dressed to go and do whatever it is we want to go and do, whether it's go to work, whether it's to go out to a function, again, we have this fear of judgment where we go, oh, I'd love to wear this, but what will people think? I'm going to say, fuck them. Do you like it? Does it make you feel good? Wear it. And this is where I get like super uber duper passionate. And this is probably why people tag me in it, because I don't hold back in this space. I honestly believe that you need to dress how you want to feel. Like if you put something on in your wardrobe and you go, oh, yeah, I suppose, yeah, this is okay. This will do. All right. Well, that's the energy you're going to take with you all day. Oh, yeah, this is okay. This will do. This will do. And like, I'm not saying that you need to dress for success every single day. And it's not even fucking success. Like I'm talking about if you put on your tracksuit, like, okay, you're going to a job interview, right? Or you're going to, I don't know, meet a girlfriend out for a drink, and you put on a tracksuit and you look in the mirror and you go, oh, fuck, this is a bit average. Not really feeling that great. Oh, well, I'll just go anyway. I mean, you're just not going to. You're going to get up and think, right, well, today you're going to an interview, let's just say. And you're going to look in the mirror, I hope, or look in your wardrobe and think, how do I want to feel? I want to feel powerful. I want to feel on top of my game. I want to feel polished and clean. So you're going to sort through your wardrobe and find something. But this is where I want to stop you and just check you on this one and make sure you don't look through your wardrobe and go, oh, I mean, that I love, but it's a bit much. No, it's not too much. If that's you and that's your personality, like your clothing has power. It is powerful. It's not superficial. It's powerful. And it speaks volumes. Like I think in a past podcast, I've said to you guys that, you know, in 3 point something seconds, people will judge you. Like it's a harsh but true fact. So give them something really valuable to judge. Like what you wear and how you introduce yourself and the energy you bring you to the room. People will judge it. Now, how they judge it is totally on them, and you can't control that. It's got nothing to do with you, so don't fear that. But if you want to walk into a situation and feel great, feel successful, feel powerful, just feel good, then dress for it. And so this is where I must admit, like I have an amazing wardrobe. I'm not going to lie. That is thanks to my mother. She's an incredible woman who has always looked impeccable and still does. And so as kids, you know, I think the life lesson that she taught me is that, you know, she used to say when her mum used to take her to town, and this is like back in the day when you'd go to town in your nice dress and your boots and your stockings and your gloves and your hat. This is back in the day. And her mother would get them dressed to go to town and they would wear their best outfit. And I'm like, oh, that makes my heart sing. And so when mum and I would go to town when I was a girl, and I'm only like, 37? She would get dressed up and together we would go in our nice outfits. And I love that. And yes, you know, you go through those teenage years where you rebel a bit. You're like, I'm just going to wear thongs, not Ugg boots for me. I'm not an Ugg boot girl. That is a story for another podcast. But you have your bit of, and look, I am not always impeccably dressed. So this is not tearing down those moments where you are in active wear and you have a messy bun and you just go about your day. Because let me tell you, that has been 85% of my life for the last few years, being that we've had to live through what we've had to live through, having 2 young kids, living on a property. I just don't get out as much as I used to. But let me tell you this, and this is what the point of this podcast is about. The days where I need to feel better, I need to feel something, I will dress for how I need to feel. And some of those days can legit be the days that my mum comes and looks after the kids and I go over to our office that's on our vineyard, that's by myself, secluded on my own, and I dress for how I need to feel, which in that moment is usually me knowing that, I'll do some batching of content. I might do a live. You know what? I just need to feel like the CEO of my own business. So I am going to dress for that. And so I say to you a few things. Don't always ask your girlfriends what they're going to wear to an event. Because if you want to dress up, you dress up. And there's one thing that I always feel, and I've always lived by, that if in doubt, dress up. Because for me personally, if I go to an event and I don't know what to wear and I underdress, I feel terrible. I would rather be overdressed than underdressed. And this is also part of my personal brand and what energy I like to bring to a room. And I don't know where this comes from, whether it's the love of the, I'm inverting commas here, underdog. I love to cheer women on, to empower them with their own self-worth. And so for me, when I go to an event and I, decide to wear a sparkly pink jacket and, overdress, again, quotation marks, overdress in potentially someone else's eyes, but for me is totes normal, part of my brain also knows that becomes an icebreaker for those people that just might be a little bit more introverted, might not want to break the ice in a conversation. Because if I'm wearing a smoking jacket or a fancy pair of shoes, it may allow somebody in that room that doesn't know a single soul, but, is there to network and kind of wants to break the ice, to come up and say, oh my gosh, I love your shoes. And I go, oh my God, thank you so much. I got them from here and, I love them and they go with this. And all of a sudden, the ice has been broken. And so I know that I do that because for me, it's also, and this is why I call it a coat of armor. And this is what I love to coach my clients on, is creating their coat of armor. Because for me, if I'm dressing how I need to feel and I'm going to this particular, call it a networking event, and I know I want to kind of break the ice, meet some new people, stand out from the crowd, of course, I am going to dress for that. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not embarrassed by that, because that is my personal brand and that is how I need to feel. And so for me, for a long time, I found it quite superficial to talk about. I know I struggle with it a lot. People would always say, oh, I love what you're wearing here. I love this outfit. You always look wonderful. One of those things that, I would always say, thank you very much and whatever. But I would feel very, very self-conscious telling people how much thought goes into how I dress. I don't just wake up and put it on and think, that'll do. Now, if I know I have something, say it's the start of the week and I know I'm going somewhere at the end of the week, and it can be anything. It can be dinner with the girls, it can be out somewhere, it could be, I don't know, an event of some kind. My thought process starts kind of even around when I know the event's happening. And it's not that I have to sit down and plan every little bit. It's just that I start thinking, what am I going to meet? Oh, that'll be a fun night. Well, I could wear this or this. And sometimes I have the outfit fully planned, ready to go. And then I get in my wardrobe and I'm like, I'm not feeling it. Just not. So I'm a raging mood dresser. And for a while I thought that was totally weird. And I kind of never really spoke about it. I just kind of pretended, I just chucked it together. It's just how I roll. Where it's not. It's incredibly purposeful, because color has an immense power over your energy, an immense power over your soul. And it should never be undervalued. And that comes from when you create a brand, a logo. You wouldn't create an energy company that is sustainable to the universe and all earthy and put it in bright red, because red has a lot of power. And people look at that color and they know instantly, they get a feeling. And this is where dressing how you need to feel comes from. There are many, many a time that I would go to my corporate job and I would walk into the office and people would say, "Oh, I could never wear that." I'd be like, yeah, you could. Why not? Like, "Oh, I could just never wear those colors." Like, why not? "Oh, they're just, I don't know, that's just stand out." Why the fuck don't you want to stand out? And this is where my passion pants come on, because you were born to stand out. And yes, you might be a little introverted and be like, "Kristen, just calm your farm. I don't want to stand out." And that's okay. But what elements of your style help tell your story? Help create a coat of armor that you feel confident in. And this is where I like to take my one-on-one clients. Is in order for you to feel comfortable and confident to show up on camera, to show up to networking events, to build your brand, you need to feel comfortable and confident in how you dress, how you look, how you talk, how you communicate, how you do all the things, because that is part of your personal brand. And that personal brand for me, if we go back to that example of me, because I'm talking about me, so I may as well, but I like to make people feel comfortable in my presence. And if that means that having a really bright t-shirt on or a really funky pair of shoes helps somebody come up and say, "Oh my gosh, I love your shoes." And then me go, "Oh yeah, great." And start a conversation. That to me is great. And look, it also has the polar opposite where people are like, "Who is this chick? She's too bright. I'm just going to avoid in case it gets uncomfortable." And that's okay. I hope that you never feel that way around me, but I know that I am loud and I am bright, but at the same time, I'm incredibly inclusive and I love being around people, and nothing more I love than supporting other people to feel comfortable and confident within themselves. So when we create our coat of armor, it is about understanding what feels good on you. And there is no fucking science to this. Like, honestly, I want you to stop right now and I want you to think to yourself, an outfit. Think of an outfit that you felt amazing in. It could have been a week ago, a month ago, 3 years ago, 10 years ago. I guarantee you can think of that outfit right now. I guarantee it. And now you've thought of that outfit, I want you to say it out loud, write it down, do whatever what you want to do. How did it make you feel? Like, if you remember it, it made you feel something sexy, confident, sassy, gorgeous, beautiful. I don't care. I just want to know that you know there's an outfit that made you feel that way. Now, I'm not saying that you should feel that way every time you get dressed, because that would be a bit crazy. But I do want to let you know that it's possible to create a feeling that is going to inspire you, give you more energy, boost your confidence, your creativity, your zest. Like, shit, that's awesome. So when you get dressed, if nothing else you take away from this podcast that was meant to be short and sweet, but it's not, because this is where I really do get passionate. So soz, if you take nothing else away from this, next time you get dressed and you're going somewhere and you want to vibe and you put your clothes on and you think, "Oh, I don't know. Oh, this'll do." Stop yourself. That won't do. Find something that when you put it on, you look in the mirror and instantly you smile to yourself and go, yeah, this looks good. And you are not being you are not being superficial in that moment. You are not being all showy and like, "Look at me, I'm gorgeous." And look, if you are, fucking hats off to you. I hope that you can say that kind of thing to yourself, because you should say that kind of thing to yourself. But yeah, I get it's also hard. But I would love you to get dressed and look at yourself and feel energy radiating from you, because I guarantee you, if it is radiating from you, that it makes you smile, that you look in the mirror and you go, "Yes, oh, damn, this looks good." then the second you walk into a room or meet a person or go somewhere or network with someone, they are going to go, oh, she was lovely. Oh, that was nice. Oh, wow, I got a real vibe from her. Like, I guarantee it. I have people that send me pictures. Oh, I thought of this when I saw this outfit, I thought of you. Or, oh my gosh, I remember you at that networking event. You were wearing that yellow jacket. Or, oh, people will say, oh, I've met Kristen. She's just so bright and bubbly and her energy is so amazing. There is thought behind that. Yes, I am a bubbly, energetic person, full stop. I love to bring that. That's part of my personality, my human traits, my human design, all the things. But it's also part of the plan, kind of, Like I know and I hope that I do leave people feeling better than when I met them. And they go, oh my God, that was amazing. How much fun was that? And that comes down to how you dress, how you turn up, how you speak to people, your energy that you bring to the room. So, if nothing else, please do me a huge favor. And when you get dressed and think to yourself, oh, this will do, stop and think, no, it won't. Find something that makes you look in the mirror and go, yeah, oh, I feel good. Smile to yourself. I would love to celebrate you because I love nothing more than seeing women shine and feeling comfortable and confident in who they are and how they dress and how they show up.
So guys, if you have been thinking, geez, the Hive Hub Collective sounds like the place that you want to be, well, let me tell you, our members absolutely love it. And inside the membership, we help them each and every day to build a business that we know is possible for them and create content that gets them paid online. And right now, you can join the waitlist.
If you are on that waitlist, you will not miss out when our next stores open. If you're wondering how to get on this waitlist, just head to our socials at Hive Hub Collective and pop your name inside the waitlist email capture there, and you'll be notified when we're getting ready to open the doors again.
And inside the membership, we are sharing each and every day with our members how they can build a digital business, how they can start UGC, user-generated content, and grow their brand and their business. We are teaching them how to build their personal brands, their business brands, launch products through our back it before you build it process, so that if you are interested in creating something you are truly passionate about and having the longevity being online so that you don't have to go back to work, then this is the membership for you. So like Mia said, jump on that wait list. You'll be the first to find out when those doors fly open, and then you can buzz on inside. Did you like that?
Can't wait to see you.